Rebecca Brand, and today's recipe is teriyaki steak. This is the most simple and basics of what's in a teriyaki sauce. You probably don't need to go to the grocery store for this one. The ingredients for this dish is steak. This steak is about 1.5 inches thick, and it's basic top sirloin, and the best thing about it is it was on sale. Soy sauce, vinegar, brown sugar, garlic, and a little bit of vegetable oil. That's it. To get to the finish line fast, you gotta turn on a cast iron skillet or stainless steel on high on top of your stove. We also are turning on our oven to 200 degrees because that's where we're gonna finish this recipe. Your pan can't have any plastic or anything that's gonna melt inside that oven, so that's one of the things you need to be careful of when you're choosing what kind of pan you cook this recipe in. This thing goes in as a whole. In a shallow bowl or maybe a pie pan, I'm pouring in 1/3 cup of soy sauce, and now 1/3 cup of white vinegar, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. It's going to give the sweetness that we all know and love in a teriyaki sauce. And I'm adding 2 tablespoons of corn oil, or any vegetable oil will do. I use a vegetable oil rather than olive oil because I want the steak to not burn in that pan that's on high. A vegetable oil just has a higher burning temperature, so I'm safer on that. And you're going to mix that up. Now I'm going to add 2 cloves of garlic to the recipe. I hate touching the garlic. It always makes my hands smell so bad. So iPerfect Kitchen has this really cool garlic kit. I put in the clove of garlic in this rubber container, and I give it a big swish back and forth and rub it down in my hands. And then the garlic comes out clean, and I didn't have to touch it. It's peeled. It's so fast, too. And I'm going to crush them with this wonderful press that's super high quality. It's really heavy-duty stainless steel. And with one squeeze, you got action, Jackson. I love that. I scrape off the extra, then I go inside, and I get the rest of them because that's going to flavor my dish. Nothing goes to waste. Here's number 2. Come join the party. Squish. There he goes. All those little tiny shreds of garlic are going to flavor my teriyaki sauce. This is going to be the most amazing steak. Out you go. Join your friend. And stir them around. I find most cuts of meat to be really tough. Unless it's filet mignon, this is my routine. iPerfect Kitchen has the most amazing tenderizer. It has tons of these blades that come out when I press the meat, and in no time the entire steak has cuts all the way through it. So every bite has been tenderized with this gadget. In all those holes I'm making, my marinade is going to get into the steak. And with that vinegar in the recipe and the soy sauce, it's going to extra tenderize this very inexpensive cut of meat that I got on sale. I never skip this step when I'm making any cut of meat, except filet mignon. But my budget doesn't allow me to buy that too often. I love steak, and my family does too. So when you can buy it inexpensive, when it goes on sale, that's when I get it. And I know this meat tenderizer and this recipe is going to make a fantastically flavored, tender cut of meat. Let's put our meat in our marinade. Oh wow, that looks great. Spoon it over the top because you want it everywhere. This is going to sit for 15 minutes because I want to make sure the vinegar and the soy sauce and all those flavors do their thing inside all those little tiny holes I just made with my iPerfect meat tenderizer. Cleanup is a cinch. I just turn on some hot water. I take my little brush. How simple was that? So I put them all together in their own little kit, and into the drawer it's going to go. After about 5 minutes, I like to flip it. That sauce is just amazing on it. Let's cook it. And into that hot pan it goes. And flatten it out. I want all the surface touching that pan because I want my sear all around this meat. And I'm keeping it on high. It needs to evaporate all the extra liquid from the marinade so that the meat gets to be dry in there with a little bit of oil for a beautiful brown color. Look at those bubbles go. It's evaporating that liquid. That's what I'm looking for. Now don't throw your sauce out. I'm going to heat that up right before I serve because that's going to be luscious on top of the steak. It's really important that you don't disturb the cooking contact surface because you want the brown to stick on there. If you start moving it around, it's just going to take longer to get browned. So step away from the scene. And for a medium rare steak, you're going to want to start with a thicker piece of meat for this method. Down he goes. Look at that flip. Those brown marks are the caramelization of the meat. That's going to add extra flavor to your great steak. For the second side, you just cook it for 2 more minutes because you've already cooked down most of the liquid and that heat has risen back up to a very hot temperature because you've left it on high. And we're going to finish cooking in a 200-degree oven for about 30 minutes, which gives me the perfect time to cook the rest of my dinner. The extra cook relaxes the meat even further. I don't want any of the sauce to go to waste, so I put in a pan on low while the steak's cooking. It's just going to simmer. If it starts to boil, it's too high. Oh, and I want every bit of it. I think he's ready. Oh, that looks great. And you can tell by touching it. Time for the transfer. Wow, that looks gorgeous. And look at the heat. It's best to have this rest for 5 minutes before you serve it. Otherwise, your juices are going to run out of that beautiful steak. I'm very excited about all the beautiful hot teriyaki sauce we have for the top of the steak. That's all the juices from the steak and the marinade, all combined together with what was on a stovetop. Let's see what's inside. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. And that looks so juicy. And with a little sauce on top. I'm going to cut it with my fork. Wow, look at how tender that is. Yum, that's my bite. That's amazing. That top sirloin steak is as tender as filet mignon. Click the link below so you can get the tenderizer and also the garlic press. iPerfect Kitchen makes cooking easy and fun and amazingly delicious. I'm Rebecca Brem. Subscribe to my channel and let's keep cooking great things in the kitchen together. Wow.